Even though Batman Returns was a financial hit, some people had an issue with the tone and violence of the film. McDonald's stopped their Happy Meal promotion of the film, and Tim Burton was reduced to just a producer's credit for the next film, Batman Forever, and was replaced by Joel Schumacher as the director, who assuaged the tone of the film and went for something that was still pretty dark, but not so much that more parental backlash would occur again. Eventually, this plan would backfire on him, but we'll get to that in a bit. The role of the Dark Knight has changed from Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer. The villains this time are Two-Face, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and the Riddler, played by Jim Carrey. The Riddler is attempting to uncover Batman's secret identity by using a brainwave device, which he calls the Box, even though it's shaped like a cone, and take over Gotham City. In the meantime, Batman, also known as Bruce Wayne, adopts a teenage acrobat named Dick Grayson after his family was killed by Two-Face, and has the hots for a psychologist named Dr. Chase Meridian. This has him thinking about whether or not he should completely retire from crime fighting and live a normal life. Right after the title is shown, we see Batman suiting up ready for action. Seems like this film will be awesome. Then when he's about to get in the Batmobile, Alfred asks him if he wants a sandwich, to which Batman responds that he'll get drive-thru. Are you having a giggle? That's how you start a Batman movie? From what I heard, this was shot for a McDonald's commercial that tied in with the movie. But why is it also in the movie itself and not a deleted scene? It comes right out of nowhere. It doesn't fit the atmosphere in any way, shape, or form. But it's not even the worst opening line for a Batman movie, nor is it the worst line in this movie. There's plenty of dumb lines of dialogue that were only written because they wanted a more safe approach to Batman, a franchise that's not supposed to be light in tone. It's the car, right? Chicks love the car. A big issue with the Batsuit that many people have in this film is that they added nipples to the costume. I would shrug it off since it doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but whose idea was it to add nipples to the Batsuit? What purpose does it have? Whatever, the suit looks good otherwise, though some of the costume decisions I'm not a big fan of. This is how the Riddler's gotta be dressed up. He's not allowed to be suave and wear a suit. Aside from the bad lines of dialogue, the acting is a mixed bag. Val Kilmer doesn't have anywhere near the greatness that Michael Keaton had. Jim Carrey does very well in playing the Riddler, even though it's mainly just being Jim Carrey. Tommy Lee Jones is also a great actor in playing the split-personality former district attorney. Oddly enough, the district attorney Harvey Dent made an appearance in the first Batman film, played by Billy D. Williams, who knew that Dent would soon become Two-Face. He had a clause in his contract that said he would make the appearance in any of the sequels he would be needed in, but it was bought out by Warner Brothers just so Tommy Lee Jones could be cast. The funny thing is that even though Jim Carrey got along well with Val Kilmer, he couldn't say the same about Tommy Lee Jones, who hated him in his movies. So maybe buying out Williams' clause was not such a good idea. With the multiple clashings between the two, Schumacher was reportedly annoyed to the point where he never wanted to work with either of them again, but he soon worked with Jim Carrey in 2007 with the number 23. But back to business. Many people know Robin as Batman's whiny sidekick. The way it was portrayed in this version, he can be pushy and arrogant. But the tragedy that he had to go through was relatable, and to be honest, I'd say this is one of the best portrayals of Robin in any form of media. Too bad his costume was also given the nipple treatment. Oh, you thought the nipples are bad? Sometimes they do close-ups of the suiting up scene, even to the backsides of the suits. Again, I gotta ask, whose idea was this? Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. There's actually a good concept behind it. It has a good idea of introducing Harvey Dent as a bad guy and finally getting Robin involved after being written for the shooting script in Batman Returns, but got cut out of the movie because there were too many characters. Nice to see him in the spotlight and actually done pretty well for once. Though I'm not for the more light approach and the bad writing. Overall, a decent and passable film. It was yet another financial hit. Warner Brothers made a terrible mistake in letting Schumacher direct instead of Tim Burton, as would be seen in the next film.